Ready? Do me a favor. You flick that once. Now remember, you're all a big part of the show. So the better you are, the better Larry is. Okay, now you see this gentleman? Now he's giving you this sign, and it says, "We're on in 10 seconds, so get ready to have a good time." Here we go. This is exciting, isn't it? 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, KGB Bar, are you ready? Are you ready for System Lord, Daddy? We're gonna give you 5 minutes of System Lord. Thank you, all your open micers. We love you. We love seeing the artists. We love seeing the creativity. We're trying to get Pineal Glands on fire, baby. We want everybody drawing, writing poetry, doing stand-up comedy. So happy to be here tonight. It's Monday. Creativity, poetry, comedy, dance, mime, piano music, playing piano music, dancing in the moonlight on a Monday night. In the deep dark of winter, the sun goes down early. And I get seasonally affected by it, I'm not gonna lie. I have to use the retro microphone. Combining the centuries, learning from the centuries. 17th century, 18th century, it's probably my favorite. Walking, conversations in coffee houses, walking with Bosworth, Samuel Johnson, and Lenny Bruce, and Nervous Miss Maisel, rest in peace. It's come to the end of its natural lifespan as a television program. And I was freestyling with the Rick wrap up. My favorite poet is Uncle Murda. Uncle Murda, what do you have to say about Bill and Hillary and Epstein's Island? I saw the list. I saw who was there. No, we're not safe from the mass media. That's why we're here at the open mic. It's a local culture. It's the real culture. And I want to promote my friends, and that's what this is about. I know this is really weird for everybody. You're like, what the fuck is going on? We came out to perform. There's a space music happening. There's aliens on stage. Are we in? Are we in SpaceX? And I'm glad they booed Elon Musk. This is System Lord. I thought it'd be a big holiday surprise for everybody. Surprise!
I love you, but you're gonna laugh.
Merry Christmas.
All night. I think you should have started counting how many times you mentioned the workshop.
All right, everybody, System Lord. Let's see it one time for fucking System Lord. DJ System Lord getting it kicked off. We're gonna get the open mic started here. Thank you all for coming out. Monday night, New York City. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Give it to me one time, New York. Woo! Manhattan, baby. We have the best entertainers on planet Earth in the room with us tonight. It's gonna be pure magic. Thank you all. We got, yeah, exactly. Yes. It's fun. It's about enthusiasm. It's about going wild here on Monday night.
Buddy Holly.
That's right. I love Buddy Holly. He lived in the Brevoort. His ghost is with us right now. I feel Buddy Holly in the room.
Yeah.
That'll be the day, baby. We'll get some. So yeah, System Lord. We have, thank you once again for coming out. Easy Paradise is the producer, impresarios of this wonderful evening. Thank you. You may have DM'd us. Yeah, please just clap. Please clap. Please clap. That's my middle name. Yeah, we have 5 minutes per performer. Just a couple of ground rules. 5 minutes for comedians. I'll time you. I'll give you the light. Poets, you do your thing. You're on poet time. So, we're not going to interrupt your flow and your truth. And then musicians, couple one song. And you're great. We love y'all. You're beautiful. There's so much talent. It's insane. This is our Coyote Ugly. We want to launch you on your way to superstardom and immortality. And NBC and CBS and all the Gulf and Western and General Electric and all the major conglomerates and all the industries are going to manufacture and take your spirit and disseminate it through the magical mechanical reproduction. So yeah, it's a 2-drink minimum. I'm Matt Proctor, I'm the host. 5 minutes per performer. And we're going to get some things started. Hopefully you guys are ready to have a good time because I'm having a blast. And thanks again. Easy Paradise, open mic Mondays, everybody. Let's get it done. Let's get it kick-started.
Yeah.
And can we get Heather Freudenthal up here? Is that possible? To kick us off with some lit. Get this table off the stage real fast and then we will move right in. Thank you again for, yeah, this is good. I'm the host.
Also, yours is good.
Can you just play something real quick?
I've never seen 20 minutes. No, I mean, it's
Out there, Feuilleton, everybody.
Hi, everyone can hear me okay? Yes. Start. I'll just want to say I'm a novice musician and songwriter and not a trained singer, but I'm just trying to do this for fun. So this is my first official open mic.
Good for you.
And I wrote this about the first conversation I had with my ex-husband after we got a divorce. Oops, that does not sound right. I might have to change it and get better. I think I might have to tune it. Does it have a tuner?
No, tune it.
I don't know how to do it by ear.
That's okay.
Can you borrow a guitar?
Don't worry about it.
Gotta tune to guitar. Yeah, just tune it for a Sorry.
Here. Trade it back. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Heather Freudenthal, everybody. Wonderful. Fantastic. All right, sorry, we had a little audio interference. Is Valerie Apperson in the house? Do we have Valerie Apperson in the house? Okay, how about, I'm very excited about this next performer. Is Alex Payne here? Alex Payne?
I'm not here. What about Matt?
All right, let's get, can we get Sergio Ronan Rose Santiago? All right, we're gonna have some poetry, everybody. Big round for Sergio Ronan Rose Santiago.
It was 1992 and a rose had blooms. From that day forth the shadows crept and the petals bent. The thorns on the stem pierced the skin of a few. Life was no different than the rest, but its hunger for life kept it alive longer than the rest. A Ronin by definition is a loner, a wanderer, a samurai with no master. And a rose is an analogy of life. You see, life is beautiful, but it hurts. I am Ronan Rose. How's everybody doing today?
Yeah.
I am a spoken word poet from the Bronx. So I'm a little lost out here, but we in different territory.
BX, baby.
Yeah. Anybody here from the Bronx?
Hell no.
Let's go. So I recently released a book of poetry. I write a lot about heartbreaks and the things in between. So I'm going to share with you guys 2 poems, nothing crazy. You guys ready? I've been waiting on change for so long, wiping tears on my face, telling myself to stay strong. On my boy's couch trying to see what's beyond the sky, waiting on the Lord to send me a message, but my phone is cut off. You see, I haven't prayed in a minute. I've been feeling disconnected, asking how to pray without a Jesus present. I've seen the signs to reconnect, but I've just been neglecting it. Hands gripped, palms sweaty, empty prayers waiting on some changes. I must have missed my mark or misunderstood the message, so if I can run back time and rerun my lesson, I'll be more athletic to run away from my hell and climb the staircase to heaven, because that's easier, right?
Yeah.
Every now and then I flip a coin into a well, then close my eyes and wish my tears will revert back into my skull so I can purify my mind and my soul and take these feelings of hate and bad thoughts, redirect them to the lower intestines to let that shit go. I found an apple and wanted to connect it back to its tree to see if I can rid the world of original sin and we can live in peace among perfect human beings, but will my issues be gone or will I rot inside in search of perfection? My favorite artist told me to drive slow and the woman I looked up to told me I'm moving too fast. Shit, at this pace I just want to make it home. I dropped my boy off the other day and he said be careful out there. And I know it hurt him to see me go, knowing I'ma drive slow to the safest corner, make sure I have everything I need, turn the ignition off for the night and do what I know how to do best, survive. Wiping tears on my face on the front seat of that car. Cause Sam Cooke said it's been a long, long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Thank you. My book is titled Water on the Rocks, and it's a metaphor for sobriety and feeling. So you, after a heartbreak, you go to the bar, hey, let me get a vodka on the rocks or a margarita or whatever. The water part is just staying sober so you can feel what you need to feel, move on, and heal. So I'm going to read you guys the poem titled Water on the Rocks. Water on the rocks, the censorship of vices. Intoxication breaches the purity of the soul. What was once guarded is guarded no more, diminished, destroyed by the perfect pour. While my thoughts fly, my heart grows sore. Darkness illuminates the light you bore. I can't drink to this anymore. So it's water on the rocks as I watch you walk out the door. Thank you.
Yeah.
My inspiration for writing, a lot of it comes from either music or lyricism. I've dabbled in so much that I kind of decided to mix as much of all those elements as possible. So I'm gonna leave you guys with one more, something a little on the heavier side. We'll see whether you guys like it or not. This one is called Fiend. It's about being a fiend. I like that because everybody thinks a fiend is a negative thing until they listen to it, and then from there we move on. My pen touching the paper was the first time I became a fiend. The ink bled off the pages, shooting serotonin mixed with dopamine in my bloodstreams. Painting verbal visions of a brand new scene. I drifted through astral planes, leaving my block, moonwalking to a place I've never seen. I made it out these streets. Buckets, milk crates, red tops became percussion. My environment never changed, I changed the product of it. Bringing project heat to every mic, cooking words up in a Dutch oven. Familiar faces start to fade, my words became eulogies as future plans became current discussions. Finding peace in these poetic prose, similes and metaphors became an enzyme. If they pitching hard white, then my drug is more like liquid swords. Detaching from trauma, processing generational dysfunction, I started writing with my umbilical cord. Breathing a new life in front of masses, I am not afraid of my past anymore. These flashing lights in my path is opening doors, spewing my life into your pores. I am no longer who I was before. You see, if we came from a rib, mine wasn't prime, so I'll make sure the end result is gourmet. I now see clearly, sorrow no longer bothers me. I make art out of these Blu-rays. This drug made me a star seed, reincarnating from a galaxy far, far away. I now dream in ink, stanzas, and line breaks. The itch you see is not like the itch from junkies. I'm peeling the death without mourning the old me, trying to make it better for a future with little me. In a society that doesn't want to see us breathe, my niggas get gunned down pursuing the same dreams. They yelling blue lives matter, not realizing we ain't pushing the same 16s. My older brother wrote bars, then saw bars. That's the first time he became a fiend. Came home and chose the streets over family, threatening pops on voicemail, begging for some bread. We could have been cooking up the same dope. We became different fiends instead. A role model for my reason to having a message to spread. My first time on stage, I was beat down, set on fire, turned to ashes, then rose. Like the first time a white man's nose meets the dust from a hit or blow, that's the second time I became a fiend. If this is what street dreams are made of, who am I to disagree? 1 turned to 3, withdrawals ain't let me sleep. I was writing my story every second the sun was out. I was daylight saving those who needed a small push to let go. When you become a fiend, friends and family watch you decompose. So every time a poem comes out of my mouth, I'm building a casket for my birth Farragos as I become Ronin Rose. You can find me on Instagram if you want to follow my art. It's Ronin Rose, RONINROSE_. I'm from the Bronx. I just released my book called Water on the Rocks, and I literally got 2 copies. So if you want to chat it up, check it out, let me know. Thank you for your time.
Georgia Ronin Rose Santiago, everybody. Get the book. Can we get Ray up here?
Yeah.
Ray, we have his buddy Ray.
What's good? I'm the obnoxious one in the back making boom, boom, boom noises.
Yeah.
I'm also a poet. God damn, that shit is right. I'm a poet. I host open mics every Wednesday out of 129 Riverton.
Yeah.
I'm here just to represent. I've never been here before, so.
Woo!
I actually did not step in shit today. I was elated to find that the firmament was not imploding on me the way it always seems to be. I felt the pierce of your stare arrive at the same size by mine to shine and oh hold on, can I do that one more time?
Yeah.
I actually did not step in shit today. I was elated to find that the firmament was not imploding on me the way it always seems to be. I felt the pierce of your stare arrive at the same sights by which mine would shine, and yes, hun, they shone too with what immeasurable love. You would read me the war tactics of Sun Tzu. It was under that Central Park sun. It was like you were the one who knew what none knew, and although the two of us lived what plain and anonymous lives, we would leave the same way we came without a mention. My hand in yours and yours in mine. That's my first poem. I don't know, I want to go gruesome. I'm going to go gruesome.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I'm like the booze on your breath. Shit, ain't you know I'm like the rat flea, the dirt in your nails, and the blood on your knuckles? Ain't you got enough sense to tell I'm like the coke you forgot to clean off of your keys, shit, the toss rubber? I'm here, and I'm not. I'm everything that you wish you forgot. I'm that shit that floods your toilet, kid. You hate me, but you must face me. I don't even like you. I don't even like me. All my life I waste and grieve, I'm numb. And know your love might not could be enough, it's us, but then again it's all I see. It's like I'm the booze on your breath, the rat flea, the dirt on your nails, and the blood on your knuckles. I'm ugly. I'm that shit you've been running from. Your dirty secret, feast your eyes and get a load of this guy. Who the fuck he even think he is? With all this nerve to moan and bitch, he's got all these gifts, but life is rich. And you're here, and you made it.
Yeah. Hey everybody, check out his open mic every Wednesday, 129 Rivington.
129 Rivington, baby, we live and direct.
That's right,
Yeah.
129 Rivington. All right, let's get some music. Can we get Kid Crash and Holly Troy up here? This is a special treat. We're gonna show this Thursday, right? This Thursday?
Yeah, we're performing on Thursday. What I'd like to do while we're getting set up is I would like you to howl. Howl! Roar!
Yeah, I like this. This is good. The howling is good. Thank you. Check.
Welcome, Wolfling.
Why are there a bunch of dogs in the room? I told you that there are no pets in the
We are the Werewolves of Brooklyn.
I do pet camp. So there's a workshop going on.
Kid has this way of teaching me new songs like the day before we're going to perform. So I always have these little cheat sheets going on.
So yeah, that's for real. We are the Werewolves of Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And actually, this is from a musical that I wrote quite a few years ago called The Werewolves of Brooklyn. Is this loud enough? Let me see. I'm gonna be in tune.
Okay, so we have a show on Thursday night at Lunella's in Little Italy off of Mulberry Street.
Kid, check your mic.
Testing 1, 2.
Turn that up.
Testing 1, 2. La 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 la. Yeah, we're doing a mini musical on Thursday, a kind of Christmas Krampus.
Yeah.
Christmas Krampus, yeah.
And you can find some of that material over here. We'll hand it out after the
All right, Holly.
set. Find it. We also have an email list that we'll kind of share with you as well. Oh, good. It's in tune. I think we're in tune.
And the party, it's a party. It's
Yeah.
called the Misfit Mingle.
So this is Mingle. Yeah. Lauren Letruche and a bunch of
Musical
comedians.
act. Ooh, is this
Yeah.
Sucks.
cutting out? It's all right.
We're going to do this song along with 5 others. And let's see, it's also, so this song is actually part of this musical. You can find on the spellcast.com with one now. It's called The Werewolves of Brooklyn. And so we named our band The Werewolves of Brooklyn too. But it's a musical I wrote several years ago. And this song, you'll find out what this song's about.
It's called Breaking All the Rules.
Holding hands on the boardwalk, looking into each other's eyes. We're breaking all of today's rules to join with the sea and sky. We're not getting laid on Tinder. We're standing outside the law. We can kiss each other all we want, and the whole world would never know. We're not following social media. We're just following our hearts. We don't care if it's right or wrong. I guess we're breaking all the rules.
These guys just got
Yes. Yeah. I might check it out, but can I sign up? Sure. It's under C.
We're not following social media. We're just following our hearts.
Yeah.
We don't care if it's cool or not. I guess we're breaking all the rules.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanna hold your hands forever. If we just spend some time together, we'd be the rebels of our day. We're not following social media. We're just following our hearts. We don't care if it's right or wrong. I guess we're breaking all the rules. 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 Thank you. If you want to hear some more, we're playing on the 19th.
One more.
Can we do one?
Wait, we're playing on the 15th
One more.
and we're playing on the 19th.
Oh yes, that's right. We're playing on the 15th, and the 15th is in Lunella's in Little Italy. You'll love that one. That's a full comedy. Oh my God.
It's gonna be it's a Misfits Mingle extravaganza.
And then we're doing a theater benefit, theater 80 benefit. One more. One more.
Yeah, dude.
Which one should we do? Should we do? We already did 2 songs last week, 2 weeks ago. What are we gonna do?
Let's go.
Okay. If you want some more, you gotta see us on the 15th.
Holly, Troy, and Kid Crash, everybody. I am so sorry about the technical problems. I kind of set up hastily, trying to get the system work going, so we'll get that figured out at some point, but if we just want to use the classic microphone for now, I think it should be working.
No more shorts there, Buddy Holly.
Yeah, I'm not a sound guy. I'm wearing many hats, but thank you for coming out. Thank you for bearing with us. Can I get Tariq Blumen up? Is Tariq Blumen in the house? Let's get Tariq Blumen up to do some comedy.
All right, make some. Hello?
Hello?
All right.
There we go. Everyone, make some noise. Have you ever seen a white-looking guy called Tariq before?
No.
Okay, let me try again. Make some noise if you've never seen a guy called Tariq with an English accent. Okay, yeah, that's more like it. Yeah, the amount of times I've got questions on that in this country, I've started carrying around with me my 23andMe results. You might have guessed from my joke so far that I'm mixed race. You're correct. I'm in fact half giant. Which is a joke I can't make when he's in the room, actually. But you know, being half giant is the biggest minority. I only mention it because people always say you should be comfortable in your body, but whoever said that has never been 6'5" on a Spirit Airlines flight. Don't laugh at that. Being tall is neither a substitute for a comedy material or a personality. But being mixed race is, and if you try and tell me it's not, I'll call you a mixed racist. You know, my father is the ethnic one, and I'm glad that he gave me a better life than he had. But he was a refugee, so the bar's pretty low, right? Although, conversely, it is quite difficult to give a good life to your children if you are a refugee. I'm just saying that because jokes are funnier if you explain them.
So, what am I fucking do?
But you know, one of the benefits of being an undercover diversity quota is that white people do feel comfortable being racist in front of me. By white people, I do mean my mother being racist to my dad. But you know, I'm actually at risk of losing my visa and getting deported from the States soon. But you know what they say, like father, like son, right? But you know, if I did decide to overstay my visa and I was working like in a restaurant and the restaurant got raided by ICE, I'd probably be alright, wouldn't I? Immigrants are ruining this country. It's what I say when I want to feel special about myself. A lot of people ask me, Tariq, why did you move to the USA? I tell them because, you know, the UK is not a free country. Did you know that in the UK it's illegal to celebrate the 4th of July?
UK sucks, man.
It's not true, sir, it's a joke. No. The real reason I moved to the USA is because I wanted to feel relatively skinnier. Also, I wanted to confuse people with my name at last. Tariq, are you really sure? Right, okay. So yes, I'm a dirty immigrant. Those two things aren't necessarily related. It's just British culture not to shower as much as you do in America. And I have been for a while before I lived here. I lived in Japan for about 4 years. Not because of the reason you're thinking. Not because I had an Asian fetish that actually happened after the 2nd year. No, the real reason I lived in Japan is because I didn't feel tall enough back home. And you know, everything in Japan is made for much smaller people than me. One of the things that worried me about living in Japan is that when I had to duck my head through the doorways, would Japanese people think that I was bowing? It could be cultural appropriation, right? You know, moving to the USA from Japan, there's a lot to get used to. The two things I'll highlight are the safety and the fact that you barbarians do not use bidets. To deal with these two things, I bought some pepper spray, and I also bought a bidet for my home, and it came with a small black plastic container called a personal bidet.
What?
And you can spray it on your ass with water. You can spray water on your bum. You might also ask me, Tarek, why did you move to New York City during a pandemic? Well, I know New York City's back, baby, because I got mugged about 3 months ago. When I got mugged, I actually mistook the personal bidet for the pepper spray, and I started spraying the muggers with water. They were like, what are you doing? I said, it's been in my arse. Had the same effect as the pepper spray. The much more painful misunderstanding was when I accidentally maced my anus. It reminded me of this saying I have. When everyone tells me spicy food destroyed their anus, I always tell them, you're supposed to put it in your mouth. All right, thank you very much.
Great Blumen, everybody. You got mugged? Or is that just comedy truth? Is that just for the sake of...
I was drunk.
That's crazy. Wow. All right, let's do. Can we get Emily Tiska? Is Emily Tiska?
Alright, cool. Hi. Wait, is this
Yo.
for talks now?
What's up, yo?
Okay. Hi. Is this? I don't know how mics work. Is this facing the right way?
That's right. Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you. Okay. Hi. I'm Emily Tiska. And I'm going to read you 3 poems that are generally about getting old because, you know, that's fun to do. So here they go. This is the first one called You've Been Told to Find God.
Huh.
You worry you're doing the scavenger hunt wrong. You have one clue. Laundromats equal purgatory, question mark? A final farewell nod to childhood and poof, you're there at Marv's Wash and Dry, a beige gallery of rumbles. Your bald neighbor grumbles how slowly time is passing, but you've misplaced how to kindly humor a stranger. Perhaps it lurks in the pocket of your beaten jeans that spin wet before you in a hypnotist spiral. You could Google being nice to randos, but no signal or Wi-Fi dares sojourn here. So instead you mutter, fuck me, right? Bald guy in his furrowed brow nod. There are no capital G good or capital B bad people here. They are all merely capital B bored, and tired of being bored. Their faces pale into the background until the walls are gray-nosed bricks. Your eyes glass over. There are no people here. All the washer doors slam open, and soapy water fills this inside-out submarine. Are you seeing this? You whisper to bald guy. He doesn't hear you. His ears are dimes and suds. You try to recall if you've got gills, or if this is a horrible situation for you. Tattered sockfish swim by in schools of thought, and the sandy floors sparkle with lost pearl earrings. The world has forgotten about you, you who just want to get clean. But it's quiet for a change, and you can't remember the last time you could hear yourself think.
Yeah.
Okay, this is annual membership fees cost $5,299 in Sephora purchases. Society met today and decreed with a sniff, you had a good run, but let's face it, you're out. Unaware of ever being in, I half-bake some poison and ask, do I get a debutante party, but for the end? Like a coming-in ball. My shadow and I would waltz stage right, singing Careless Whisper until the host killed the lights. Red lips grimace around cocaine-white teeth. No, silly girl. Wrinkles streak and stripe your face. Skin should be smooth and supple, like a peach or waterbed, or the head of a giant squid. But you've got smile lines that wrap around the block. Wait, so I've mastered smiling? I've been named Smile King, Empress of Glee, the Grin Reaper. No, you stupid thing, society angers. More in the tragedy that days have passed and you did not get younger. They leave after taking my driver's license, my favorite shirt, and 3 grapefruits for the road. They do not realize my wrinkles are the ones in your bed sheets from kneading and kneading them as your hand clenched my neck and we etched clues we were there into morning dust. My creases are the folds of tiny paper slips, palmed hand to hand to hand. Do you A, B, or C? Dip your finger in crushed canary ochre and circle 1. My lines connect telephone poles, making all the far people feel a little bit closer. Mine are the wrinkles in the space-time continuum. I place fingers to forehead, slip back to 18th century Paris where it's raining hard. They do not like my ripped jeans, and the women cluck about my blocky shape. White powder puffs from their scoffs and thickens the opaque fog. I don't know French for, where can one get a new driver's license? Or, wait, do women here drive yet? So I say, hello, welcome to lesson 1, and this is my cat, she is 5 years old.
Yeah!
And this last one is, you can't grow up in a city if you don't grow up. For a classic New York slice of life, we follow the grime trash medley, veining cobble and tar down the 124 Old Rabbit Club hole. Glass litters alleyways like treasure beneath night's napping dragon, tired from her 9 to 5. A broken bottle minefield at our feet, we swing round fractured lamppost disco balls. The floor is olive oil lava, but our melting point is so, so high. Our tongues are made of tungsten, so we can eat the roads and refuse to bend. We refuse to cook our own dinner. We crack our fingers like glow sticks, raise our sweatshirt hoods into cockeyed crowns. We just want to laugh at our own jokes, weightlessly, in the glitching of a buzzed moon that staggered in late after living last night like it was younger. The whole world seems to live here, and no one does. Smoke climbs the air, but it's unclear which cigarette burned it alive. Who's on first cigarette? Who's on third? I don't smoke except for second. Hand in hand, we walk until our legs are ribbons. And as our movie backdrop lightens to ashy blues, I wave good morning to the dawning that this corner doesn't need us, and we're still getting older, and this lamp is just a lamp, but I can still hold broken glass and feel rich. Thank you.
What's your Instagram? Let's be friends.
Yeah.
My Instagram is ohheymle, the letters M and L and E.
Ohhey?
OHHEYMLE. Thank you.
That's really tight, everybody. Yeah, I will be tagging people in the stories and the Instagram stories on Easy Paradise Mag if you want to find people on Instagram and check out more of their work. If you want to use the microphone, you can. If you don't have to. But we'll keep it going. Can we get is Aaron Gammon still here? Aaron Gammon. Let's get Aaron Gammon. I'm very excited about this performer. Excited to have him. Check. Okay. All right. Aaron Gammon plays in Washington Square Park, and I was at Bob Fest, and this woman pissed everywhere in front of me. It was crazy. But yeah, you got to check Aaron Gammon playing out in Washington Square Park. We're very stoked to have him here. This microphone should be working. If you want to use the straight stand, we've got to figure it out. Sorry about that. We're back on track.
that guitar,
Which mic do I use?
The straight one.
This one.
No, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna tune. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'll switch back. Guitar's going out.
Is it a cable thing? Because I have extra cables.
I feel like it's just the whole
Different
board.
wires.
Okay.
I like it. How's it going, guys?
Nice guitar, man.
Thank you, thank you.
Maybe better harmonic than you.
I hope. Here's a song about being sad, about breakups, and all that stuff. Our conversation, short and sweet, it nearly knocked me off my feet, and I'm back in the rain. Hey, we're on dry land. You made it there somehow. You're a big girl now. There's some Dylan fans out here. Bird on the horizon, sitting on the fence. He's singing his song for me at his own expense. weather is always extreme. But what's the sense of changing? Horses in midstream, I'm going out of my mind. Yeah, the pain that stops and starts, like a corkscrew to my heart. Ever since we've been Thank you. My Instagram is AO period, and then my last name is Gammon, so it's like Gamma, but with an N at the end. And my next gig is going to be May 24th. Like our wonderful host said, I do this thing called Bob Dylan Day at Washington Square Park. So on his birthday, May 24th, I memorize a bunch of songs, I get a bunch of talented musicians, and we play all Dylan for 7 hours straight. So if you guys are around, come by. And yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for letting me play. Take care.
A.O. Gammon, everybody. Check out Bob Fest, Washington Square Park. Is it on Bob's birthday? It's on Bob's, he's a Taurus? I think he's a Taurus.
Oh, no, I'm a Gemini.
Oh, that's right, he is a Gemini, you're right. Oh, that's right. The two sides. A simple twist of fate. All the personalities. All right, can we get, fuck, where am I on the list? Junie, is Junie here?
Yep.
Let's get Junie up to read some poetry. Let's get one of our favorites here, Jonathan Ariano, everybody.
Very cool, bro. Thank you. I'm sorry. 7. God, I fucking love this piano. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm just gonna read one. I just wrote this just now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck yeah. Woo! Match! You're too fucking tall. There we go. Is everybody getting fucked up? Woo! Alright, ready? I want to fall in love. Sorry. I want to fall in love. Unable to meet your standards. Look me in the eyes, go ahead, lie to me. I'll do the same. Spit in my mouth. Stick your tongue down my throat. She roll her eyes at me. I'm fucking your best friend. I'm fucking your cousin. In circles and circles, we dance and dance. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, you stupid bitch. You stupid fool, I'm using you. We both say at the same time, I'm using you, but I still fell in love. I'm using you until I feel better about myself. Don't wait up. Don't expect anything else. I love this moment, I do too. Just wait until I lick tequila off your dick. Just wait. Until I lick Jack off your dick. I love you. Thank you. Woo! Yeah! Woo! I wrote that just now. I feel good right now. I performed this here, but it didn't go well. Let's see it goes tonight. I think I know what needs to be said. I've truly become a spoiled brat, undeserving of good things and good fortune. No matter how much death or trauma I go through, crying and waiting for a good day will never lift my head to pick up my pen to become a decent writer. Calling myself a poet, what a joke. too lazy to write a single line. Oh, how much it hurts to remember their faces, the days I only care about. What about my pain? My pain, my pain. No one cares. No one should care about my pain but me. I think I know what needs to be said about myself. I have no one else to blame for my shitty life but me. I left New York at 19. I ran away from my problems. I left my father alone, my brother alone. I left, only for it to be taken away in 2 single breaths. What about my pain? My pain, my pain. Oh, the lonely poet. 1 second. Oh, how much it hurts to write down a few lines about my life. Oh, how much it hurts that no one else cares. And they shouldn't. The truth, the reality of my life is that I have no one else to blame for how my life turned out. And if I truly want change, I better hurry up before my mother's hand comes down and grabs me by the neck to pull me close to her chest. Responsibilities. Thank you.
Junie, everybody. The great Junie. Real poetry. You are a poet. You are a poet. Thank you for coming and sharing. All right, I'm very excited about this next act, the Corporate Beatnik. Can we get the Corporate Beatnik? Nick Dove in the house.
Thank you. So I'm going to be reading a short story. Oh God, this is going to fit me. Okay. All right. I'm going to be reading an excerpt from a short story that actually works as the prologue prequel to my novel, Before the Curtains Closed. So yeah, here it goes. It's my first time performing at KGB Bar, so thanks for having me.
Just lift the microphone.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Oh shit, that's right. All right. We called her Lizard, but with her white top, black bottom, and weed smell, she was more a skunk. Django had been head over heels for her since the first time he'd seen her. It was a chance encounter. What? Oh, okay. In a North Hollywood parking lot, and she was with another man. By the looks of it, he'd been abusive. There were brown spots all over her body, and she whined when she moved. It infuriated Django to see such an injustice, and ever the savior, he asked the man how he could treat her so poorly. Muscle-bound and Guido-tanned, he looked Django over with a dead-eyed stare. Her, he scoffed before smacking her backside and spitting on the ground. She's always been garbage. Adrenaline coursed through Django when he struck her. He looked at Liz, seeing beauty beneath her brokenness and imagining her by his side. He wanted her bad, and he let the man know it. He told him he'd love her more and better than he ever could. Told him he'd make her purr, that he'd take her up and down the coast, and he'd do anything for her. Django said the sort of shit that gets your shit kicked in and your teeth knocked out, especially when you look like a commie Ozzy Osbourne, and you're talking to one of the Valley's finest. They jawed and snarled and nearly came to blows, but eventually Django's determination won out. You really want to wreck like her? All right, the man said. $2 grand cash, and she's your problem. Just don't come crying to me when she don't change and you can't fix her. Django jumped, not needing to think twice. He called his granny and emptied his bank account. The Benjamins handed over, he rode away with his beloved. Later that week, he told me he'd never been as happy as the first time he was inside her. I believed him. I'd only seen photos, but she was fucking jaw-dropping. I wanted her too. I knew this was different, but we'd shared before. Not knowing what he'd say, I asked if I could take her for a spin now that he'd broken her in. Django was apprehensive, but when he saw the same fire in my eyes that man saw in his, he knew that no wouldn't mean no. Just be gentle, he said, then tossed me the keys. And so began our love affair. A 3-month-long vehicular menage a trois with an 06 Ford Crown Vic Police Interceptor. We took her everywhere. Figueroa, York, Wiltshire to Koreatown, the 10 to the 5 into the Boyle Heights barrios, and the 2 to the 1 onto Malibu's beaches. We cruised Mulholland with me riding shotgun, rolling spliffs, and Django in his cat-eye sunglasses driving and jiving and fiddling with the aux cord, blasting Fela Kuti's sounds of liberation as we felt our own. LA's a city where your head's in the clouds even when you're flat on your ass.
but riding on Lizard's reupholstered cloth, we'd found damn good seats to dream. It wasn't just her interior that was nice either. Liz had gotten a makeover since she'd been with us. We'd sprayed all over her, making her the motor equivalent of a good girl gone bad, a car with tattoos that inflamed the desires of man, woman, and otherwise. I'd tramp-stamped a little anarchy symbol on her bumper and a friend at a mural of Rosa Lux on her hood. In a supreme act of defiance, Django had even painted Black Lives Matter on her black side, or on her left side, signifying that our race traitor roadster had turned her back on the blue. The hogs weren't happy, but however they squealed, they couldn't talk. We'd soon learn that if you fell in their trough, if you fell in their trough, they'd eat you alive. It was the 4th of July, and Django was returning home with illegal Nevadan rockets. He and Liz were roaring down the 15, that great road between Sodom and Gomorrah and Vegas, racing back to Eagle Rock so we might toast to Uncle Sam's beautiful Barbaras and with fires in the sky that matched the fury in our hearts. He was going 100, maybe 110, when a pig saw him and took chase. Django, stoned as shit and scared as hell, chose to flee. Anxious and yelping, "Ah, fuck," over and over as the swine steered closer, he didn't see the bump in the road. When he hit it, Lizard turned, tumbled, and rolled into the brush, completely totaling her. Django was upside down when the cop dragged him out and booked him for criminal speeding, drug paraphernalia, fireworks possession, and reckless evasion. That Independence Day he'd wanted to recognize American brutality, but wound up experiencing it himself, hearing explosions outside proclaiming freedom and confined to a kid space crying over a dead loved one. That night, I was his one phone call. I forgot most of what he said as I'd spent much of the holiday eating mushrooms, and not the portobello kind. But I remember he was fighting back tears and had survivor's guilt. I drove out to Victorville in the morning and posted his bail. He couldn't even look at Liz. "Chris, give it to me straight," he whimpered. "How is she?" I inspected the damages. She didn't look good. Her roof was caved in and her right flank crushed. In truth, Django was lucky to be drawing breath, let alone walking. Lizard had traded her life for her lovers, and no amount of care or cash would ever resurrect her.
Yeah!
Thank you so much.
Dove, everybody! The corporate beatnik. Love that Instagram handle. Do we have Nancy Lombardo? Nancy Lombardo? All right, let's get Eric Asker. Is Eric Asker?
Hey guys! Woo! Hi! Hey, let's keep it going for every performer you've seen so far. Yeah! There's so much goddamn talent in this room. I just do comedy, and I've never felt so inadequate. My dick is like a turtle with social anxiety right now. It's not good. I feel weird, guys. I'm quitting smoking cigarettes today. This is like the first day, so I'm like all jittery and stuff. Does anybody in here smoke cigarettes?
Yes.
Can you breathe in my face after this? That would be great. Cigarettes, they feel good and like gross at the same time, you know? It's like watching a Woody Allen movie. That's what it's right? Yeah, it's like it feels good, but at what cost, you know? I don't know. I'm trying to better myself, like in general. Like I'm trying to go to the gym. Does anybody here work out? Yeah? Hell yeah. What do you do? What's your workout?
I go and do whatever doesn't hurt.
Okay. What are some of the things that don't hurt you?
Well, you gotta jog every day. You gotta do your core every single day. And
Okay.
Yeah. So
All right. So you got like different days, like you got a jog day, like a core day. And
Sure.
Hey, here's what I do. I just use whatever machine is open. You know, like I just walk in and I'm like, all right. Looks like it's a neck and ankle day, you know? Another one. You should see me in like a wife beater and open-toed shoes. It's a sight to behold, guys. I don't know. The reason I've been trying to like improve myself, I don't know if you guys, I went through a breakup recently. Yeah. Which is how you phrase it when she's the one who broke up with you. Yeah. If I broke up with her, this joke would start with, "Who else is single?" And then I'd shoot an air horn, rip off my breakaway pants, just sort of gyrate for like a while, you know? It's tough, dude. When someone breaks up with you, they've thought it through, you know? They've had like a conversation with themselves. They've come to a decision, but still as it was happening, I wanted to like talk my way out of it, you know, negotiate. Like, nah, babe, don't be brash. What if I just grew more emotionally in the next week than in the entire 3 years we've been together? What if I was like a different person? And she was like, that's exactly what I want, a different person. It was a bad breakup here for a couple reasons. Like, first off, right after we broke up, like the first 3 stores I went into were all playing the same song. Yeah, and it was the one, I don't know, you probably heard it. It goes, "Where did I go wrong? I lost a friend." I'm just crying and Dwayne Reed, like, I did lose a friend. Where did I go wrong? And then we didn't have breakup sex either, which, that's the best sex there is. Because both people are trying their hardest. Right? Like, yeah. You want to make a good, like, last impression, you know? Is this relatable? Yeah, you got one person who's like, good luck getting over this. That's how I do it. Why is that funny? No, all right. And then the other person's like, maybe if I bang good enough, I can save the relationship. I know, I just haven't been kissing her neck right, you know? You guys know sex? Don't act like it doesn't involve neck kissing. It can. It can. We got. All right. Anyways, yeah, where was I? Oh, she just popped up in my timeline recently with her new man. Yeah, I don't care for that at all. Especially because when she broke up with me, she told me it's because she was gay. That's a dirty trick in a breakup. Because when someone comes out to you, you have to be supportive. So I supported her through dumping my ass. I was like, "You're so brave! Thank you for your honesty!"
Until it happens again.
You think it'll happen again?
I don't know, man.
I got those vibes?
I made 2 women gay.
You made 2 women gay? Maybe lose the hat or something, I don't know. I'm just spitballing, guys. Alright, I'm out of time anyways. You guys
Eric Asker! Eric Asker Comedy on Instagram. Check it out. Alright, is Jared Apper here? Jared Apper, another comedian. What about, is Nathan Battleoff?
I don't see it.
See, these deadbeats. These deadbeat comedians. Alright, well, let's get, we've got an exciting, let's get Calto. Let's get Calto up to play some music. Real fat. Some beautiful, is he here? Is he? Here we go. Alright. Big round of applause for Calto, one of our favorites here.
It's system and not the money. I think it's just to be honest, okay, cool. Just yell into it. Just go blah. I don't know. Maybe just. Sorry.
I'm just gonna be nice and loud. Give it up for all the performers you see in this evening. My name is Cal. I'm playing one quick one now out of here. This is a song about health insurance. Every year, a sign up for health insurance. Don't understand how it works, but I click agree on the documents. And I never really know what my insurance plan is. White dental and vision are separate. Nobody here can help me understand it now. Telling me I got a pre-existing condition, and they say that I need to get a medical pre-authorization, but I don't know what either of those words mean. All I know is this receptionist is staring at me like I'm a fucking idiot. What if I got the copay? And what the shit is a fucking deductible? I never know if I'm in or out of the network. And frankly, I have no idea how health insurance works. Insurance words is all so goddamn confusing. Is it an HMO or a PPO? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Yeah. No, no, all these letters in the mail, got all these charges on it, but it tells me that it's not a bill. So then throw it away and I say, oh well. Then I get another one 3 months later telling me I fucked up and now it's overdue. And when I end up in period again, then why do I need a different ID card just to pick up a prescription? They want me to pay out the pocket, and I'm sorry, Mr. Doctor, but that cash I simply do not got it. No, no,
Calto, everybody. Just do improvise, adapt, overcome. Truth about the health insurance insanity in song form. I mean, how do you do that? A master. Always something topical and brilliant to say. Thank you, Calto. One more time. All right, I was curious about, is Lord Play His Pain here? I really want to see Lord Play His Pain. Maybe next week we'll see Lord Play His Pain. All right, let's get Sam Copeland up here. It's time to suck on a chili dog. Ladies and gentlemen, sucking on a chili dog.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Oh, wow, the audience really is completely invisible. My name is Sam Copeland, and it's story time. And the story I'm reading to you tonight is called Suckin' on a Dog. Okay. First day, W flew over the clouds in Air Force One like Hitler from The Triumph of the Will. He was thinking about the law and how the ground of the law is war. War that has come to equilibrium and assumed the appearance of law. But how does war come to equilibrium? He could not concentrate because Laura was too horny. She had been texting him all day, even though he'd said he was the president now and couldn't be horny anymore. The country came first. Cheney was on the White House tarmac waving those cone lightsaber things. He was foretold of Laura's horniness and was prepared to do whatever necessary to keep the country safe. After Air Force One had interlocked with the robot arms of the White House air hangar, Cheney went to meet W as he descended the stairs. And indeed, this is Cheney talking, and indeed, there will be time to wonder, do I dare and do I dare? Time to turn back and descend the stair. What the fuck are you talking about, said W. Cheney led W to the secret elevator that went straight to the Oval Office. A lime green panel scanned Cheney's hand before sending them up. W asked if he could touch the panel the next time, but Cheney said he wasn't old enough, that he wouldn't understand these things, a man's things, his struggles with God. While they were shot at supersonic speed, Cheney gave W a briefing on the day's contingencies. Iran was on the phone. Then China would be meeting W in the Oval Office to discuss the economy and was bringing a bassoon ensemble. W could plug his ears if he didn't like it. The elevator pitched the two of them onto the floor of the Oval Office. After they'd wiped the globs of coolant off their clothes, they got straight to work. W plopped himself behind the desk and snatched up the receiver while Cheney went around distributing the refuse coolant to wastrel mole people in the hallway. Iran was in the middle of talking when W tuned in, as though he'd been on the phone the whole time. She was talking some Sufi mumbo-jumbo about ascending the chain of being to merge with the primordial all-one. W was about to say that a perfect one would have to contain some principle of differentiation, and therefore not truly be one in order to generate the multiplicity of its sensorium. But then he got a text from Laura. Fuck, she's so horny. W strained to keep his horniness at bay. If he didn't, he was at risk of objectifying Iran. But there was something else distracting him. Weird noises like raw chicken thighs being slapped around in a kitchen sink issued from the adjoining room. When W opened his mouth, he said, "You have beautiful Iraq-shaped tits, Iran." Cheney was upon W with a fire extinguisher. The spumming reams of foam washed W cussing from his chair, upon which Cheney lighted with a single bound across the desk. Cheney apologized profoundly for the president's behavior, citing to Iran his lack of experience, Laura's horniness, and the generally fallen state of our misused race as explanatory factors, if not, of course, excuses. After hanging up the phone, he commenced administering righteous Indian sunburns to W's forearms. "You're lucky China's coming or I'd be prolapsing every sphincter you've got," said Cheney. W promised to be a good boy and asked if there was any aloe cream for his arms. Cheney could never say mad for long while looking into W's big Jewish eyes, and so, like a mama leopard, he tenderly applied the aloe cream. "China will be here in a minute," he purred. "Do you know what you're going to say?" "The economy is an abstraction," said W. "The ground of the economy is the law, and the ground of the law is war. Yee-haw." "China's gonna fucking destroy you if you keep saying shit like that," said Cheney. W was crestfallen. He'd been riding high since the election, but Cheney's remark cut deep. He wanted to deal a real zinger to China, partly for the sake of the country, but mostly to impress Cheney, who still seemed to see W as the little bald boy who had been left outside the temple gates all those years ago. No one knew who left him there, but they had wrapped him in a cloth with the words, "He will ballin'," dyed in its fabric. Cheney brought up the boy in the ways of the old ones, watched him master the sacred blood arts, but still he would not grant him the title of Ballin. W was sure that once he became president, Cheney would anoint him and circumcise his nipples. But even this was not enough. Many years later, as he faced the firing squad, Colonel Aureliano Buendia was to remember that distant afternoon when his father took him to discover ice. W searched deep within himself for a zinger, but again he was distracted by the noise from the adjoining room. "What incarnate is that racket?" he ejaculated and made for the door. Cheney threw himself in W's path and stood before the door like a starfish. "You're not ready," he also ejaculated. "Damn it, Cheney, I'm the president now. Maybe that doesn't make me ballin' in your eyes, but I can't serve the country if you keep holding me back." Cheney shook his head and muttered a prayer to the old ones. Very well, he ejaculated. He held his finger before the keyhole and wispy tentacles sprouted from his fingernails. They hovered in among the gears and levers, making love to their joints, so that, with an orgasmic shudder, the lock fell open and the door came loose. A dark, stony corridor extended before them. Cheney lifted a torch off the wall and lit it with one of those pistol-shaped things you use on a grill. The tongues of orange light made illuminating licks on the dank stone ahead as they proceeded down the corridor. Finally, they came to an open chamber, and W gasped like a little bitch when he saw what was before them. Seated on an Aztec throne of skulls and spiraling transcendental geometry was the most beautiful dog W had ever seen. His jaw was fucking cut, and his eyebrows were in that cocky alpha male smirk that wets your pussy even as it bugs your brain. Not to mention he was ripped like a Mexican and could probably bench 350. But most beautiful of all was this dog's cock. It projected out proudly, 2 feet in length, and had a beautiful, smooth, tapering shape, just like the Enola Gay. And his balls lay plump and enormous at its base, like the explosions at Hiroshima and Nagasaki, respectively. The one thing chafing W's chaps was that he could not see the cock's mushroom tip. Since latched over it was the mouth of a withered slaveling, sucking that dog on his hands and knees. W was all in a fury. I want to see the mushroom tip! I want to see the mushroom tip! He raved at Cheney. The dog... Uh-oh. Alright. The dog woke from his stupor and eyed the two men pensively like they were sloths inside a snow globe. The guards changed, but the sentence is the same, said the dog. Springtime comes beyond these walls, but not to me, where caught in the winter of my soul, I await not warmth, but a final freezing over to embrace me in the blissful cold. That's the dog. Alright, how's this mic doing? Okay. W grabbed the waist of the slaveling to tear it from the mushroom tip, but Cheney smacked him back. He pinned W's neck on the floor with his kneecap. You can't, said Cheney. I'm not the little bald boy who had been left outside the temple gates. I'm the president, and I demand to see the mushroom tip. This isn't about you and me. This is about the country. Cheney knew this would be hard for W to hear, so he laid W's head on his lap and gently stroked his fingers through the silky anime wig. Look, man, he began, it's time you learned of your origins. It wasn't just anyone who left you at the temple gates. No, your parents were warriors who fought in the great Star Trek wars against Osama bin Laden. Their names were Mithra and Mithra Part 2. They left you with me because they knew they were going on a suicide mission. With their deaths, they defeated Osama bin Laden, but not without a price. Bin Laden left this slaveling here, sucking on a dog, as a final insult to our people. And if the slaveling is ever made to see sucking on this dog, for the purposes of, say, looking at the mushroom tip, then Osama bin Laden will do 9/11. A gloom eternal to silence the light of suns companions me in my bitter sojourn, said the dog. I who yearn only after annihilation. W wept big, beefy tears into Cheney's crotch. He thought of his parents, whom he had never met, but he felt he should have, and their great sacrifice, only for this slaveling to suck on a dog. Let him do 9/11 then, cried W, under the torrent of his passion. Let him do 1,000 9/11, if that were the cost. Cheney furrowed his brow like a puffin. The last 9/11 wiped out half our harvest. Would you, in your hubris, let bin Laden do another? As you said, you are the president now. Can you ask that of us all? This is sort of a Bildungsroman. If existence is torment, then death is salvation, said the dog. W pondered Cheney's words and kept them in his heart, but before he could reach a decision, he got another text from Laura. I'm sorry, I forgot what we were talking about, said W. That's all right, said Cheney. You need to go talk to China anyway. The two men went back to the Oval Office where China was waiting for them. China was a pattern exfoliating itself within the atmosphere of the room. It constantly changed the alphabets of written documents, turning them into other alphabets, be they modern, ancient, or yet to exist. Through a complex cipher, the rhythms of the changes could be interpreted into gnomic utterances, which on this day were expected to concern the economy. The trouble was that China had brought a bassoon ensemble along that played exactly the sort of chamber arrangements of Mahler that W couldn't stand. So while he paced around with a book in one hand and a cipher in another, it was all W could do not to kill himself. I think it says that inflation is a goo-goo no-no, shouted Cheney from across the room, staring into a biography of George Washington Carver with the Carver crossed out. Bullshit, shouted W. He had forgotten to call
with a good zinger. And now, with the bassoons a blarin', Laura a textin', and the slaveling a suckin', it seemed he would never be anointed, never have his nipples circumcised, and he would never ballin', meaning that his parents had died in vain. W felt the whole semiotic superstructure of his value hierarchy come crashing down. He threw the book and the cipher across the room, bellowing, "The economy is an abstraction," and ran out the door to the dog's chamber. Cheney tried to stop him, but the door slammed in his face. The lock was jammed, so Cheney pounded his fist on the door, screaming racial slurs after W. W reached the chamber.
Check, check.
The dog stared at him and said, "Time is a knife driving into the heart, but the blade blocks the blood's escape." W pulled on the slaveling, who thrashed and made hideous muffled shrieks, like a parrot gargling melted butter, as it sweated high pH fluid from its itchy pores. Unbeknownst to W, the slaveling had a mouth like a lamprey eel, with concentric circles of teeth clawing into the dog's... You guys know what a lamprey eel is, right? So that when W pulled hard, the dog moaned and his penis detached from his abdomen and fell to the floor, still lodged in the slaveling's mouth. The dog's balls fell off, rolled around, grew legs, and scuttled into the darkness while a horde of writhing worms poured out from his penis wound. The worms kept pouring out in a sickening soft-serve pile as the dog deflated inside his skin until he was just a little scrunched up foreskin on the seat of the throne. Meanwhile, the slaveling thrashed and screamed even more violently on the floor, smacking the cock against the stones. W watched in horror as the worms came to devour the slaveling and the cock. But the entities evaporated on contact with each other, and when the green-purple steam had hissed and passed away, there was only a stinky, music-shaped stain on the floor. The foreskin dog mewed out to W, who went over to cradle the little guy in his hand. "Thank you," it whispered in a gross voice, and evaporated too. Earth felt the wound, and nature, from her seat sighing through all her works, gave signs of woe that all was lost. Chthonic tremors vitiated continents. Japan fell into the sea, and all the matter inside the two invisible planet-sized cubes lying on either side of the Earth swapped places. Inside the chamber, things shook around and some dust fell from the ceiling. W's phone buzzed.
It wasn't Laura this time. It was Osama bin Laden. W picked up the phone, his hand trembling but his face resolute. "Hi," said a dark Osama bin Laden voice through the phone. "You know what this means. Now I do 9/11. W said, "Fucking me ball."
Second day. We're almost done, guys. Second day. W read a book to school children. It went something like this. There once was a man from Nantucket who dreamed he was fed to a bucket, while with he dribbled his drink through a hole in the sink that was nobody near to Nantucket. Just as he turned to the final page, his chief of staff ran up and whispered, "Osama bin Laden literally did 9/11 in his ear." W took a deep breath, aligned his chakras, and dismissed his chief of staff. He knew it would be bad. Crops would fail. Churches would burn. Azazel would claim babes from their mother's wombs. But it was what had to happen. W looked out into the class and saw his parents there as children, in their corduroy jumpers, about to begin the time cycle again. There was so much he wanted to tell them, but that was not the way of the old ones. His phone buzzed and he looked down to see a text from Laura. She was horny again, but this time he didn't fight it. He didn't need to not be horny anymore, just like he didn't need Cheney's approval. He already ballin' whether or not his nipples were circumcised. So he chubbed and the children loved the chub. They cheered and declared that Eros is the vehicle of spirit, that sex collects nature's obscure forces into pathways of sapience, the quintessence which raises to existence that which is merely real. W blushed, bashful yet proud of the chub, and feeling for the first time that the country was in good hands. You must change your life. Yeah.
Dan Copeland, reading the Mellencamp-inspired pornographic neocon fan fiction that you didn't know you needed. Sucking on a chili dog. It'll always be sucking on a chili dog. In my heart, I'm sorry. Alright, can we get Sam Yadrone up? Sam Yadrone.
Okay. This is sort of on theme, but shorter. This is called I Like My Dogs Playing. When Chris was 9, Chris's father, whose name was Saul, decided he would sign up to run a marathon. From September until early December, he told no one of it, as he did not want to say it aloud before his spot in the race was confirmed. The parents of a 4-week-old embryo don't tell anyone about it until the thing's viability is certain. Saul used that logic. A lot of people wanted to run the race. There was a lottery, and it was more likely that Saul wouldn't get a number. But eventually, an email informed Saul that he'd be officially timed in the event. He received the message while sitting at his desk in his home office, a tanned brown wooden room suitable for thinking. A reproduction of Rembrandt's The Return of the Prodigal Son hung on the wall behind him. The son kneels, his head presses into his father's breast. Saul opened his yearly planner and plotted the training. Long runs scrawled in on Sundays. He would begin training on January 19. The race was scheduled for October. Saul worked all days of the week, but Sunday and Wednesday. Sal, the children's mother, Chris's mother, worked Sundays and Wednesdays. Chris and her brother Michael lost to Saul at Monopoly at least once every Sunday, and each time listened to him sing Queen's We Are the Champions, changing We Are to I Am. Chris loved it when her dad sang. She didn't think Saul's victory song represented his selfishness or his grandiosity. It was just a funny joke. Her father sang when he was happy, but Chris's mother thought the Monopoly obsession and his gloating was inappropriate. So what? The only full day you get with your kids, you decide you're gonna run 17 fucking miles every week, gone for hours, and when you come back, you just beat them. Again and again, in a stupid board game about money? Can you at least let them win? They were in the kitchen after dinner. Chris and Michael, her brother, were in their rooms. It's just a fun board game. The kids asked me to play it. Anyway, it's good to teach them about capitalism. Life has a cost, Saul said, drying and putting away dishes. That's not a financial responsibility lesson. Life has a cost, Sal said, wiping the island with a rag. That's about sacrifice. So you want to teach your children that giving them life was a sacrifice. I thought you were the one who still believed in the Bible, said Saul. You must still believe in it too. The board game isn't what we're talking about, Salome. I just think the marathon will take away from your children's already spare time with you. How is it that you manage to take everything I do and twist it into an example of why I'm such a terrible guy? I'm 29 years old. I'm trying to lower my cholesterol. People with children run marathons all the time. This isn't the neglectful husband and father situation you want it to be. I don't want it to be neglectful husband and father situation. I'm just advocating for my kids. You're not a social worker. They don't need an advocate. If they thought I was a shitty father, I'm sure they'd tell me, or they would have told you. I think you assume that they communicate more with you than they actually do. Chris talks back, but Michael, not so much. Just let them speak for themselves. The house homed a runner, it became evident. Tiny shorts abounded in the laundry room, goo packets piled up in the cabinet. Chris got caught eating too many of them as snacks, and the packets moved into the parents' bedroom. When Chris snuck into their closet to steal quarters from the change tin, she found the packets and stole a few. On one Sunday afternoon, Saul returned from his long run and laid on the couch to read/nap. Before the book landed on Saul's face, Chris walked over to him and sat on his shins. He howled and said, "Shin splints." Chris didn't understand. She pictured the thing you put on a broken pinky. The training routes lengthened, and each time Saul left on foot, Chris sat with the dog on the bench in the front window, and the two of them watched him go away, waiting there to also see him come back. The newest all-family activity was to go for a drive out of the subdivision, down State Line Road until the odometer increased half of the miles he had to run, then drive back the exact way home. The longest this ever took was 3/4 of an hour, but Chris relished it. It necessitated the involvement of both parents, one to drive, one to watch the odometer. It was a team effort. The night before the big race, the family went out for a big pasta dinner. It was sweet to have the whole family together, all of them eating loads of carbs, even though only one of them was running a marathon the next morning. Everyone was giddy. Chris and Michael wrote encouraging messages on posters. On race day, the temperature outside broke the record for the hottest in October in so many years, and 2 people died. Sal, Chris, and Michael tried to pass tiny cups of water when they saw him from the sidelines. He didn't take them. He was just too fast. He actually yelled at them. At the finish line, Sal landed on top of Michael in the grass. It isn't just exercise that releases dopamine. Laughing works too. They all hugged him, proud. Saul said he was okay with his time, but it wasn't his best performance. He could have ran faster. The family walked to the beach and searched for a food spot on the way to replenish Saul. They passed a hot dog cart and Saul settled on a Frankfurter. Chris wanted one too. Sal and Michael waited further down the sidewalk. Dogs in hand, Chris and Saul ate where they stood, by the cart, and Chris was glad for this moment of bonding. She started to suck the relish and sauerkraut off the top. Saul looked at her in disgust. His mouth full of dog and bun and onion, he said, "Why are you sucking on your dog like that?" "I don't know. I just want to eat the stuff first. I like to suck my dog's plane." "Then why the fuck did you order stuff?" "Because I like the stuff." Saul flinched and then sighed. "Can you just eat your hot dog like an adult?" Sal and Michael noticed the tension of the exchange building, but neither were in the mood to engage. Chris threw the dog in the garbage, crying. Saul was indignant. "You didn't pay for that. You want to pay me back the $3 you just threw in the garbage can?" And the family continued walking toward the beach.
Sam, you're drawn with the callback. The sucking on a dog callback. You can write your own sucking on a dog stories and bring them into open mic. We welcome that here. We love that. We love Mellencamp. Let's get Peter Glissman up in this.
Next, I gotta tune up.
All right, he's gonna tune. Is Ben C. on here? Comedy. How about can we get Steven Sahilnik up? Let's get great comedian. Check out the podcast. Steven Sahilnik, everybody. Big round of applause.
Thank you, Matt. Matt, you're one of the only people who plugs my pot. I appreciate that, without me having to do it. I talk about what's up.
We still.
Okay. How's everyone doing tonight?
Sucking on dogs.
We good? We're all sucking on dogs tonight. That's how it feels. Okay. I wanted to ask. Start with. Anyone have any toxic traits?
That's where you are.
A couple. Was it one? Yes. Anyone have any toxic traits they're willing to share?
So I'm not sure how many of these people are.
So no. You're like, I have them, but I'm not going to share them. Okay. You have a lot of them. Do you want to share them or no? That's cool. That's fine. I never want to. I'm always curious. Me too. I have one toxic trait, and it is following my dreams. Anyone else have that toxic trait? It gets in the way sometimes. Okay, word. It's a good one. It's a good one to have. I was having dinner before this with my cousin, and I found out that one of my cousins got ghosted. Does this happen to anyone? I'm sure it's happened to everyone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. but he got ghosted from his 10-year marriage. Has that happened to anyone? Because that's the first I heard of that shit. Is like, that's the way you find out that your wife has left you. Yeah, well, you know, at least he knows. It's pretty clear at that point that happened. He's not like, there's coming back from this shit. It's pretty definitive. So I was talking to my cousin about that. It's interesting. So I was talking about ghosting with him. I also want to talk about, they're in the news so I'm Armenian. I don't know if anyone is Armenian or anything. So I like to talk about that and talk about the Armenian genocide sometimes. Some people don't know what that is. I feel like most people think it's what the Kardashians did to the NBA. You know what I mean? They're like the Knicks, if you think about it, those sisters, because they have like they've destroyed dozens of careers, all right? But what a loyal fan base. They're so deluded. They're gonna win this year. And I think a lot about that. And you know what? It is Christmas time, and I wanted to get in the festive mood, so I actually wrote a song about it.
Yeah, all right.
A little bit of one, because they remind me a lot. They inspired me. They're kind of like, do you guys know the song Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
Yes.
Okay. I'm a baritone, but you wouldn't know it, so humor me. Okay. Because they're basically like, you know Simmons and Odom and Humphreys and Parsons, Griffin and Thompson and Clarkson and Hardin. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? Kanye, the realist reindeer. Stop that.
I didn't get any further than that.
Okay. This is cut now.
I can do this without this. Alright. I am now doing spoken word. Isn't that wonderful? Okay. I have one or two other things I want to talk about. Okay. You know, phones and technology has gotten so crazy that, you know, my iPhone, and I feel like all of us have gotten targeted ads, right? To where phones they know what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten ads for things that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Shit like that. And I've heard people who've gotten like their like proposals blown up because like their girl is they're on their phone and they see like K Jeweler or whatever. And they're like, oh, my guy's gonna propose. And that happens. And my friend, that happened to him, but it was kind of like, it was the inverse. Because he was on his girl's phone, and he saw ads for like prenup lawyers. So she was really rich, so she was like playing the Uno reverse card, like, gotcha bitch. And there was also the K Jewelers ads, because she had the money, she was buying her own record. So he's like, I should probably propose to her now. And that happened. So, you know, phones, it's like the final frontier almost, and there's not much else they can do. But I was thinking about it, I'm like, you know, the next step, I think, is, you know, phones already hear what we say. I think that they're going to start hearing what we think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And personally, I don't know about you, but I can't wait for it. I can't wait to see some of these fucking ads. Like on my phone, it'll be like, Steven, it appears you're into big booty Latinas at a gun range. It's kind of weird. I guess I'm liberal below the waist and conservative above the waist. And I'm a libertarian when you draw. Something like that. I feel like that's like the last frontier where they have to go with like technology is hearing your thoughts. And there's that. And some of it's good though. I feel like, you know, I have one of those new toothbrushes. There's like Oral-B toothbrushes. They're like Bluetooth, right? And they tell you how long you need to brush, right? It sounds stupid, all right? It's pretty useful. It's pretty stupid. And it tells you how long you need to brush. And I'm doing this, and it keeps saying that my girlfriend needs a few more minutes to come.
Which is weird because I don't have a girlfriend. So I don't know who they're talking about. All right.
Yeah. Thank you. Good night. Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, man.
Steven Sahilnik, everybody. Funny, thoughtful shit. All right. Fuck. Can we get? Oh God. Peter Glissman, and then Ray, and then Zach Heffler. Those are the next three. So Peter Glissman, then Ray, then Zach Heffler. Peter Glissman, everybody.
No, I'm good. I'm not a good enough player. Alright, my name's Pete. I'm an alcoholic. I haven't had a drink in 3 days. I've been asleep. Is there a bar in here? Because I could use it now. So I wrote a protest song back in the fall of 2000 because I was going through a divorce and I lost my job and I didn't have any money to rent porn, so I needed something else to do with my hands. I'd like to start with a little bit of audience participation. Oh, if you're angry and you're bitter, clap your hands. If you're angry and you're bitter, clap your hands. If you're angry and you're bitter because your ex-girlfriend's saying nasty shit about you on Twitter. If you're angry and you're bitter, clap your hands. Oh, if you're feeling lots of hate, clap your hands. If you're feeling lots of hate, clap your hands. If you're feeling lots of hate because you're too drunk to masturbate. If you're feeling lots of hate, clap your hands. Thank you. All right. Like I said, this is a protest song. I got the Ohio State University guitar pick. By the way.
Go Bucks.
If you're friends with my ex-wife, fuck you. With my ex-wife, fuck you. If you're friends with my ex-wife, you can go fuck yourself the rest of your life.